Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. I want to remind you, if you're just tuning in, if you're watching us, you can listen to us on our podcast. But if you're listening to us and you want to watch us, go to our YouTube channel, The Stephen Knight Show. You can subscribe, you can like, and you can comment. We definitely want to hear your thoughts. All right, so Ms. Parker, how's it going? How was your weekend? What's going on with you?
Happy Monday. It's been quite a Monday. We're really busy at work and projects are going downhill, but I'm staying afloat. The weekend was great. It was, far too short. And on Mental Health Monday, I'm going to talk about finding that balance between work and life, and something that I used to be quite good at because I always use the excuse to travel. But since travel is not in play, I hate taking off of work when I'm in town. It's just something I've always programmed myself to always save my vacation days because I traveled so much. I needed the days. And now that we can't travel, I still have that mindset of, don't use days you work from home. And I've worked from home for almost 8 years. And I think it's a thing a lot of people who work remotely for a long time struggle with, because you feel like you don't need to take those days off. You're already at home. And so you can be productive while you're at home, but it is still very taxing on your mental, and it is important for you to keep balance. So I had a short trip. I should have taken Monday or Friday off. I didn't because I wanted to be productive. Had a short trip for Mike's birthday this weekend. It was an overnight trip. I wanted to stay longer, to Hilton Head, Tybee Island area, which isn't a trip that I never would have went on otherwise if it wasn't for COVID, just because I have this whole travel elite thing. I don't like traveling within the state. But it's gorgeous. It's literally a beach town. It's not like Destin. I like Destin, Florida as well, Pinnaman Beach, but those beaches seems like they're tourist destinations. Hilton Head, Tybee Island really feel like beach towns where people actually live. So it had like a homey feel. We stayed at the Marriott Hilton Head, which was awesome. It was a beautiful property. It was a resort, beaches right off the property, and then also pools. Social distancing and masks was enforced anywhere on property, but not by the pool area and the beach. And everyone actually did it.
That's good.
Everybody had a mask on when you checked in. They gave you one if you didn't have one, or if you wanted extra ones, which I collected them all. They would give it to you at the front desk. Everyone seemed to follow the rule. I didn't see not one person indoors on property that was enclosed without the mask on. I think everybody understood they were doing it for safety reasons. But the moment people stepped out that door, I didn't see a mask in sight.
All bets off, huh?
Yes, we drove around trying to find a restaurant to eat at that night, Saturday night, and the restaurants all closed early, but the beaches in the little town area was really packed. And we were like, okay, good thing they're closed. We'll just order something and take it back, because no one was social distancing or a mask. But it was interesting just to be out. It's been months since I've traveled, and so I think we managed to stay safe that one day and a half trip thing. So I had a good weekend. How was yours?
Well, that's good. Chika, how was your weekend?
My weekend was good. It was pretty busy. I was playing catch up because last week I was off. Yeah. I was handling some family stuff. Finally got up with my family after months of not seeing them, and that was good. But I had to play catch up this past weekend on some work and stuff. But it was good. It was a good weekend. It's a fun weekend.
That's good. But Naya?
Same. I had a good weekend. I'm still trying to recover. We had a business retreat, so we were at it from Friday to this morning.
Wow.
After airport drop-offs and all that, I'm trying to recover. So, but it was a good weekend and good and productive for me.
That's good. My weekend was cool. I didn't do a whole lot. I did hang out with different groups of friends. On Saturday, I had a couple people at my house, and then yesterday, Michelle, our friend Dennis, he bought a new house, and so he invited us over to see the house. Very nice house, very nice neighborhood. But and then just chilled. I didn't really do a whole lot, but it was good. And I know, Ms. Parker, you're talking about taking time off, during this time of quarantine when a lot of people are working from home. I'm fortunate that my company, well, my boss, she's allowing us on Fridays, typically if the team collectively hits their goals, then we can have Fridays off. So it's great having a 3-day
That's
weekend.
been awesome. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, it really is. All right, well, our question of the day is, does it bother you when others find your partner attractive? Ms. Parker.
Not at all.
Right.
Not in the least.
Yeah. What about you, Chike?
But when I partner up, I'll let you know. But I think the formula goes that no one wants someone that no one else wants, right? So can't have a problem with that.
Yeah. Naya?
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that either. No, I think it's kind of it's a compliment. I kind of look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. For me, that's typically the case. So yeah. But my thing is, but my thing
Can't
is,
wait to say that.
but you know, there are some men who will purposely dress down or prefer their women to dress down, don't wear sexy clothes or whatever. So this does happen. Have you, Ms. Parker, as a woman, ever had a man had a problem with the way you dress or anything like that?
No. And if they did, they didn't tell me.
It wouldn't work, right?
It wouldn't work.
All right. Well, tweet us at home, Stephen Knight Show, SHO. Let us know. Does it bother you when others find your partner attractive? All right, coronavirus update. We've surpassed 13 million cases worldwide with 570 plus thousand deaths. That's all worldwide perspective. Domestically, we're over 3 million cases and then 135 plus thousand deaths. DC and New York, good news, DC and New York are going days without COVID-related deaths. Now, New York hasn't had a COVID-related death in a month, which if you remember, they were the epicenter when it all started. So it's definitely a good swing for them. And DC they didn't have a death in a day or two. 33 states are seeing increases of new cases, while Florida remains to be the epicenter. And yet the governor still won't mandate that people wear masks. The city of Miami, their mayor has mandated, but the governor won't. Trump canceled his rally over the weekend, but he did visit Walter Reed Medical Center, where he finally wore a mask after his team pushed him to do that. They had announced earlier in the week that it was pretty much a photo op. He was going to be wearing the mask because they're saying a lot of his supporters aren't wearing masks and things like that. Atlanta mayor, she urges the city to go back to phase 1, but the governor says she can't enforce that. Now, if you don't know, the mayor, her husband, and 2 of her kids have tested positive for coronavirus. They were all asymptomatic, but her husband, she said, had the hardest time with it, even though they had no underlying issues. California has gone back to phase 1, closing bars, inside and out, restaurants, and anything that's not essential. One out of 100 people, that studies are saying 1 out of 100 people will be infected with this disease. What are your thoughts? I know that we're all trying to find our new normal and, navigate through it. Ms. Parker, what are your thoughts on the coronavirus today?
No, I've always said I think it's going to go through most of us. I think it's similar to the flu. The healthier you are, the better chances you have in beating it. And so your best chance is just to focus on your health.
Mm-hmm. Chika?
I'm in total agreement with Ms. Parker. It's going to be up to you to make sure that you are healthy. People out here are wilding out. They're doing whatever the hell they want to do. And so with that being said, take care of yourself.
Mm-hmm. Naya?
Yeah, I'm the same. Just focus on your health and your immediate family and circles, and try to keep everyone at least as responsible as can be when you're around each other. And you primarily focusing on your health, that'll be probably your biggest advantage.
Their biggest concern is with the 20 to 29 group. They feel like they're not taking it seriously. Some of them are having COVID-19 parties where you pay to go to the party, and the first person that catches it gets the money. A 30-year-old,
she died.
Who died, and on the deathbed said, "I didn't take this seriously," and that's what he told the nurse on the deathbed. So people, wear your mask. I don't understand why these people are arguing over wearing masks. I mean, people are throwing tantrums in stores when they have to wear a mask. Ms. Parker, tell them about your story where you almost got Karen'd.
Honestly, I think I'm not a big fan of the mask either. I'm not going to say that it's something that I wear all the time and that I'm sold on the reasons of wearing it. But I don't see the big deal in stores that requires it. You can, the moment you walk out of the store, you can take it off. I think people just always have to be, they always have to have a reason to rebel, right? I think there are people who just live for that. I think they want to fight. They live for a fight. There are bigger things to fight for, and I think I can have a little bit of that in me too with things that I'm passionate about. But how are you passionate about not wearing a mask? You know what I mean? But there are stores in Atlanta. It's crazy to me because I think that their hygiene has gone down as far as wiping down the carts and making sure how it was in phase one, having someone at the door and make sure you get a clean cart. Those things has gone down, but then carts everywhere, not a hand sanitizer in sight or disinfectant wipe, but they have a big sign at doors that says no mask, no entry. So it's like, okay, well, you wear a mask, you have it all over you. It's just, it doesn't make sense to me. But the dollar store is now requiring, the one in Dunwoody Sandy Springs is now requiring you to wear a mask. And I didn't see the sign. I was in a hurry to get what I needed to get back home. And I walked in, everyone had a mask on, but I usually don't wear it in places where it's not required. So, and I always have it with me, but if it's not required, I typically don't wear it. And so everyone had a mask on. I noticed that at first, but I was like, okay, well, maybe everybody's, they're in this whole new phase. So I started shopping and people were literally just staring me down, just like, and I was like, what are they looking at? And then I went on shopping. Even the workers, they wanted to say something, but they didn't want to. But older Karens was literally walking up to me and just like staring, like they wanted to, but they're just like, okay, we're not going to say anything. We're just going to stare her down until she figure it out. So even the workers looked at me crazy. And then I was like, you know what? Why everybody keep looking at me? Let me go see what that sign says on the door. So I walked to the door right before I got in line. And I saw the big sign that said, no mask, no entry. I had been in there, already shopped, already had all my stuff. No one said a word to me, just got dirty looks and that type of thing. And when I noticed that, I put the mask on right away. Like I said, I have no problem wearing it. If it's required, I'll put it on. Even if you're not a believer in a mask, places that requires that you want to go in there, I don't see the big deal in just complying until you walk out. The moment I walk out of that store, it's off. It's just because I just don't feel comfortable in it. I feel like if everybody else have it on, we're good. But in places where it's required,
if everyone else has
there's
it, not you.
There's no reason for me not to put it on.
Yeah.
I just don't see the big deal.
Yeah. Well, moving on, Jada Pinkett Smith finally confirmed what most was already thought, that she and August Alsina were in an entanglement, as she calls it. So if you remember, August Alsina, he was in promoting his recent album, he did an interview. And in the interview, he said that he had a 4-year relationship with Jada, with Will's blessing. Initially, Jada and Will, their reps, denied that ever happened. And then eventually Jada took to Instagram and Twitter and said that there's some healing that needs to be done. It's time to return to the table. And that she'd be going to her Facebook show, Red Table Talk. So on Friday, that episode finally aired, and was she and Will, and she pretty much said that when they first met August Alsina, it was through their son Jaden, and he was going through a lot of issues. He had substance abuse issues, mental health issues, and they were kind of like mentors to him. At that time, Jada and Will were having troubles in their marriage, and they separated, according to them. And eventually, the relationship between Jada and August turned romantic. She called it an entanglement, which had everyone scratching. And Will said, what does an entanglement mean? And so, but she said during that relationship, she learned more about her and Will. And August had an issue with that and wanted to break everything off, which she said she understood. And her and Will worked through all that. And she said it happened a long time ago, so she's surprised on why it's coming up now. But she didn't say exactly when it ended. She said a long time ago, but 2 years ago, he was on her show, Red Table Talk. I think, I'm going to ask you, do you think that, and Will said that he did not give permission to August Alsina. Jada said that he probably said that because he didn't want to come off as a home wrecker because they were separated. Do you think that the purpose of the video to clear things up? Was it successful, Ms. Parker? What are your thoughts?
No, Jada came across as a fraud, and I'll let you know why. I think that a lot of what she's based her red table on is accountability. It's on healing. It's on being transparent and vulnerable, and sitting within your truth, no matter how ugly that truth is, right? That's what she's built this brand around. And the fact is, her truth is not pretty. And I think that was an attempt to clean it up and make it look good. And she had Will on there looking like a fool, kikiing with her, and as her partner in convincing everyone that it's all good. I don't think that the regular people who make mistakes, and I think this is where people there's a disconnect. And this is the same thing I have with religious leaders. You chose this as a platform without anyone asking, right? You chose it as a calling, as a platform. And so once you stepped on that platform, you have to hold yourself at a higher standard, right? Because that now you have deemed yourself on a level where you can teach, where you can lead, right? That automatically puts you in a separate bracket. No one is saying that you can't be him and you can't make mistakes, that people are putting you on a pedestal. Yes, those things are true. You're human. You don't deserve to be put up above everyone else. But once you step on that platform, you already are. And so you have a responsibility to uphold a higher standard of being. And if it was a man had taken a young girl that was friends with his young daughter, who was troubled, in pain, broken, been molested, family issues, and slept with them and manipulated them the way Jada did, we would be having a fit. But because it's a woman, everyone thinks it's funny. And here is this still broken young man trying to heal from it. And you can tell he's still going through it. And he was dismissed. That conversation did not address him as a person. It addressed their need to clarify and their need to make things look good so they're not judged. That wasn't a healing space. It was 12 minutes of healing. That wasn't her sitting in her truth and taking accountability for what she's done. It was very troubling to me. It was very troubling to me because when you're hurting, if somebody hurts you, when him speaking his truth, she could have validated that and said, you know what? I came into your life, August, at a point when you were broken. You were a young man with very little experience. You came into a family where we gave you love that you needed. And I took advantage of that. And I'm sorry for that. Sometimes we need to say those things without giving any excuses as to what we were going through. When someone is hurting, they don't care why you did it. They just want to know. You can't say, I hurt you because, well, I've been hurt, or I was hurting, or my marriage wasn't working. That's not taking accountability. Accountability is strictly saying, I know that I've caused you pain and I'm sorry. That's it. No explanation as to, well, my pain too, or my suffering too. That was very disturbing. And I just, I was disappointed because I thought she had elevated herself to a different level of being, and she had her own work to do. But she was about to Virgo you guys with all that talking in circle. I'm gonna tell you that. A Virgo will talk you in a circle any day.
Yeah.
And Will had to stop her and say, are you going to tell us what happened?
Right.
Because she was going in circles. I mean, the first 2 minutes, I was like, what is she talking about?
Right.
She was going in circles. She wasn't being straightforward. That's how you can tell someone's trying to manipulate you, is when they're trying to go around the issue. And Will had to say, well, tell us what happened.
As my dad said, sweet talking. Don't try to sweet talk me.
Right. And that's what she was going to do that to the audience if Will hadn't said, you need to say what happened. You need to tell what happened.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that he had that in him to say, because it would have just been even worse. But no, I don't think that the 12 minutes red table, open table, whatever table it was, table of lies, cover-ups helped.
Chike, so August Alsina allegedly commented on the YouTube video and said this wasn't the whole story, but I'll leave it at that. What are your thoughts on all of this?
So we've all heard the rumors about their marriage and how they get down and what they do and how long they've been doing it. I think that, and I'm taking it to the streets, August broke code, and they had to play cleanup. And with them playing cleanup, Will's looking at Jada, oh, because this is your constituent, you have to be the one to clean it up because this was on your end. And I don't know if you paid attention, but he joked around and said, oh, I'm going to get you back. And she said, oh, you already have.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot of code in there, a lot of talking in circles, like Ms. Parker said. It's a lot of code talking. I think that this is something that's not new to their relationship. It's just that I believe August probably fell in love with Jada for real. And with that, it didn't coincide with how they normally move in those situations. And he, like I said, broke the code, and they had to now clean it up to make it look good. Because in the industry, your image affects your bottom line. If they don't look like decent, upstanding citizens of the community or have a decent moral code, then it could mess with their money. And they both know this. And so they had to address it. And she had a perfect vehicle to do it. She had a platform, and they used it. And if you pay attention, since when does Red Table Talks are only 11 minutes? Mm-hmm. They're not 11 minutes. They did that just to come out and be able to clean this mess up. So yeah, it was a farce. It was something just to put out there to appease the masses.
Now, do you think that this story will go away now that they've addressed it, or do you think people want to know more? What are your thoughts on all of
it? Both. I definitely don't think it's gone away. People always want to know more, especially it's strange. People who don't know the people involved, they always want to know everything about someone else's situation, which is a strange thing, but no, it's not going away. It's alive forever on the internet. You know, this whole thing has been brought to the media circus, so it'll forever be ticket worthy. You know what I mean? People will want to know more. I think it's important that these people do find whatever, if there's some real healing that needs to take place. Well, I think that's really something they really should work on finding, no matter how it looks to us behind closed doors and in their hearts and minds and in their family circles. They probably really need to work on whatever challenges that may really affect them in their real lives. And I really do lean towards the thought process of Chike. It's blended between him and Michelle, but my second phase of examining this thing from what I see is along the lines of how Chike sees it. It was pretty eerie how he kind of said that, because it's really, I said that to some people as well. So
yeah, when I watched it, I walked away with, you can tell that I feel like that Will and Jada, whatever their relationship is, they're solid in that, and they have understanding. And because this one went public, they had to address it. Mm-hmm. I don't think you can tell. I don't even believe that they were separated. I think they just tried to do that in just so everything would look good. Because I think what Jada was trying to do was try not to make her and Will look bad. And she wasn't trying to make August look bad. She was trying to make everyone seem like it was just this healing space. And, yes, this happened, but we're better now, whatever. But my mom always said, where there's smoke, there's fire. So we've been hearing about these slinger rumors for years, which to each his own.
Can I just address that whole entanglement? I mean, and it's a lot in a word. And if her usage of that word was her trying to tiptoe around the fact that she started a whole romantic relationship with this man, and usage of entanglement implied that she was caught up in something that she had no control over. Right. Like she was entangled in it and it just took over her. No, it didn't take over you. You made a bad choice. And again, going back to code, and this is cheating code. I got this from the old players. If you're going to cheat, you cheat up. You don't cheat down. August, in so many senses, is beneath them. Financially, on his platform, he's less than them. He has a lot more. They have a lot more to lose. Yeah. Right. And normally in the past, with the rumors that have been going around with how they get down, it's couples that they deal with. So it's a lot more that it could be lost with other people. So they're on an even playing field. This was just a bad choice.
Yeah.
I will say too, a lot of the way she spoke about it and the way she went around it was a way of trying to manipulate the audience into seeing it the way she wanted them to see it.
True.
Right? The
Very
words
true.
that were used and how she was very careful in selecting how she used the words, when she used the words, and how you can tell her mind was constantly going as to what to say whenever he would ask her to, he would probe a little bit more. I think he did feel that maybe she was coming across not as honest as maybe they rehearsed. But you could tell that he was probing her to maybe come on and be a little bit more open. That's going to be more believable, because if you know the game, like you said, that was some manipulation right there. Mm-hmm. And the way she was using those words, you could tell she was trying to manipulate the situation.
And at the end of it, she colored herself victim.
Mm-hmm, of course.
Yeah. Okay, you know what? Nah, I'm not going to go more because I know we got other stuff. Sorry, Steve. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. What are you going to say?
You all it's piggybacking off of Michelle, piggybacking off of Chike. And if those rumors, if they don't patch it up the way they did, then we have to look at the other rumors that they may be uncomfortable with. And they probably don't even want to open that Pandora's box so much till people really start to pry and look for things. So I think, I really do think it was an attempt to kind of,
smooth it all over.
Yeah.
No, I agree. Well, let's take a quick break. We have a couple more hot topics right back after this.